Hachi, what are you doing here? Been here all day?
No, he just showed up 2 minutes ago.
It's amazing. Every day.
Hachi, hey, Hachi.
Dogs have a good sense of loyalty, personality, and charisma with humans. It's pretty obvious that there have been many dog and man interaction plots done before, but because I always have a thing for dogs, I can never get tired of it. Unfortunately, when dogs are in place for films, you mostly get slapstick comedy like See Spot Run and Good Boy, unless a dramatic one comes in. And when it does the job, it does the job. A Japanese foreign film entitled Hachiko, A Dog's Tale is one of those kinds of films that defines what I am referring to. This is a simple, sweet, charming, yet dark story that eventually becomes a tearjerker in the second half of the film. Unfortunately, the film was never released in any US theaters for some unknown reason, and what's worse, many critics didn't like the film. So I only had to wait until the DVD release. The first half of the plot is simple. Dog meets man. A Japanese monk ships an Atika puppy overseas to America. There, in a small town, the pup is in a wooden cage being carried on top of a luggage cart at a nearby train station. The cage eventually falls over and breaks, setting the pup free and wandering around. He eventually runs into a man named Parker Wilson, played by Richard Gere. Parker takes the pup home and starts making pole posters thinking the pup may belong to a previous owner and expecting a call in the future. No one answers, so he and his wife decide to keep him. Parker names the pup Hachi, Japanese for 8, hence it was labeled on his collar. As Hachi grows up, he waits for Parker coming home from his job at the train station on a daily basis. Here we get a lot of awe moments and several likable scenes from the interaction of the two. Unfortunately, those times are not to last. The second half becomes a harsh, twisted event that leads me to tears. Hachi waits one day for Parker at the train station as usual. Little does Hachi know, Parker died of a stroke at his job. Hachi is told for many people that Parker's dead and he's not coming back. Parker's wife tries to aid him, but he goes back to the train station. Parker's daughter, who now has a family, tries to take care of Hachi, but he makes his way back to the station and the family decides to let him go. Everyone else who tried helping him gives up as he still proceeds to wait. The last 10 minutes or so becomes an uncomfortable sequence. 9 years go by and the old, weak, and lonely Hachi still sits at the train station for the last night of his life. It's a hard thing to realize that a period of time that's longer than his bondage goes by and he still does his routine. Yeah, the plot is very generic. There's not much complexity involved, just a simple story. But because of its performance, including the dog and the music, it is emotionally effective. The music, written by Jan A.P. Kaczmarek, really does the job emoting the story. They are simple piano themes that are soft and soothing while being skillful at the same time. It also includes some violin themes alongside. Hachi the dog gives a lot of cute and other meaningful expressions that make me chuckle, laugh, and eventually feeling sorry for him during the rest of the film. He really makes you love him, and Richard Gere's character is no exception because of how generous he is. The story is based on a true event, but unlike the movie, this event took place in Japan of 1923. It's shortly explained at the last 30 seconds of the movie before the credits. The movie, however, has taken place in the late 90s in America and is narrated by a boy who's the grandson of Parker as he explains how big of a hero Hachi is in his class. He brings the moral of the story implying that you should never forget anyone. Simple moral? Yes. Is it effective? Somewhat. I can't say it's an excellent message because it's pretty thin and obvious, but still good because it's not told very often. Critics can say whatever they want, but I love this movie. Maybe it's because I'm a dog lover, but it made me feel emotionally responsive to the story and performance. And the different timelines, including its way of narration, made the movie very well crafted. If you're someone like me who loves animals, check it out, but rest assure you, it gets pretty bizarre. It's definitely worth a watch on my recommendation, and is quite possibly one of the most underrated movies of 2009, though I reviewed this film in 2010. For Hachiko, A Dog's Tale, 4 stars out of 5.